I don't know how you pronounce that. Fucking. I'm pretty sure that word's supposed to be fucking, but it's written in there as fucking.
Whoa, dude, that time you got me.
I win.
And today we watch Stay Out of the Attic. 2020, not rated, 80 minutes long. This was directed by Jaron Lauder, starred Ryan Francis, Morgan Alexandria, and Bryce Vermilius. And this is another Shudder movie that just hit Shudder recently. So what was this movie about?
Stay Out of the Fucking Attic is what the Human Centipede would have been if Tom Six wasn't so obsessed with butt stuff. It's about a Nazi who's doing all of these experiments on people, and these professional movers come in to help him move to a new house. I was kind of not clear on that part. Anyway, Nazi sewing people together and murderous experiment things.
Yes.
And Nazi. Did we mention Nazi?
Even Hitler had a girlfriend who he could call his own.
We like the Mr. T experience. What else do we like?
That's right. Probably one of my favorite things about this was the atmosphere. It had an eerie, creepy vibe to it.
Sure.
Because it all takes place in this Victorian mansion kind of thing. Which was
beautiful house.
Yeah, great house. It had a good setting.
I like the effects. For the most part, the effects were really well done,
Yeah,
I thought.
A lot of practical stuff, great makeup effects.
Yeah.
Nothing like too over the top or crazy. So
we're more grounded in reality.
Yeah.
But for this story, it worked.
So, there's some solid effects and some decent blood and gore.
I like that the creepy German guy reminded me of creepy German guy from the Monster Squad, but evil instead of a good guy.
I can see it.
That was pretty cool. I like that a lot.
I thought the acting was done pretty good. The main character, the movers, it was a pretty small cast. Pretty small cast.
Yeah, main characters were all pretty good.
Yeah, acting was fine.
I like that there was obviously more to the story than what they gave you.
Yeah.
And they trusted that you didn't need it. Like, they kept hinting on that the main mover, the guy who owned the company at one point was a neo-Nazi. Like, it started with, he had a tattoo on his arm, and he was like, oh, I got that when I was in prison. I needed it to protect myself. And then later on, you see he has more tattoos, and they're, like, professionally done. And they actually point out, look, this is not a prison tattoo. That's a professional tattoo. Oh, also, that's a high-ranking tattoo. So you weren't just like a Nazi, you were like high up in the Nazis. They call attention to it, but they don't ever really give his whole story. A lesser movie would have spent time going into,
flashbacks.
Yes, I was a Nazi, I did this, I'm not that anymore. They didn't need to do that. And I appreciate that they didn't. There was enough there to make you not trust him consistently, and that's what his character needed to be.
I love the cinematography in this. I thought it was done really well. Some really good camera work, some aerial shots and stuff, and the way they go through the house with, kind of focusing in the background when something's happening. I thought that was done really well.
They shot the house beautifully. Yeah. It was a beautiful, I don't know if it was, I'm assuming it was a set. It could have been a practical house.
Yeah.
But either way, they had this beautiful location they were shooting on, and they captured that very, very well. What don't we like about this movie?
The biggest issue for me in this was, do you know what it is? Tell me.
The story? The pacing. The acting.
The pacing?
The lack of blood.
Okay, well, yes.
How boring it was.
So, yes, the pacing.
The music was kind of eh.
Yeah, music was.
Which one of these wants to be your thing? I'm sorry, the pacing. Go with the pacing.
Yeah.
I'll take some of those other ones I threw out there.
Yeah, the pacing, it was a little too slow. Too much time.
A lot of too slow.
Yeah, it took too long to really get going.
This movie started off like a turtle, and then it picked up speed to be like a turtle who's had a cup of coffee. Still slow as dick.
I wasn't a fan of the story.
No! Oh, holy shit, no.
I didn't like that it took this whole Nazi turn.
Yeah, it didn't need that, first of all.
Basically just human experiments. And I was like, really? Come on. I wanted some big old beast up there,
This is like the island of Dr. Moreau, but worse. I have a big problem with one thing here that I haven't even mentioned yet. The name does not match the movie. Stay Out of the Fucking Attic gives you a very clear idea of what the movie's going to be.
Right.
It's going to be kind of goofy. It's going to be slashery. When I heard the name, I was thinking like You're Next.
Right.
That kind of movie where it's a slasher or, a creature feature, whatever. But it's going to be a little over the top, a little bit goofy. You know going in what you're getting. And you know what? That is not at all this movie. There's almost no gore. The creatures looked fine. I mean, they were cool, but they were all super grounded in reality. So humans are kind of boring when you start cutting them up and sewing their body parts in new configurations. I mean, it's not exciting.
It's just weak.
Yeah.
In my opinion, and very tame. They didn't really do anything.
Yeah. So I feel like I wish they had changed the name to something else and given this name to a movie that was this named movie. When you hear a name of a movie, you have a preconceived notion of what you're getting. You hear Stay Out of the Fucking Attic, you are building a picture of what this movie's going to be, and this was not it. That is a big deal, because if you go in with this expectation, maybe we would have enjoyed the movie more if we had gone in with this expectation, thinking it's going to be this kind of movie. And I don't know. I don't know. Fuck you. I mean, I feel like we could keep kicking this dead horse, but it's pretty obvious what we think. There weren't really any technical issues to pick out.
No.
Technically speaking, it was good. It sounded good. It looked good. The music was fitting. It worked. It was just boring. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen. It's not the worst movie I've seen this week. It was fine. It wasn't great. I was bored out of my mind. I don't know. Maybe if I had gone into it expecting it to be a slow movie, I wouldn't have felt as bored. It's hard to say for sure, but I went into it expecting a fast-paced thing, and it wasn't. Not a lot happens. Almost nothing happens. Fine, whatever. I don't know. I'm pissed now. So, you get 2 out of 8. Because there was some good here.
Yeah. Okay.
The acting was really good.
It was.
I feel like as much as we've ripped this movie up, we should say the acting was good. All of them were good. There wasn't a single bad actor.
Yeah, so this wasn't quite what I was hoping it would be, and that's always kind of a letdown. But it was shot really well, production value's great, the technical aspects are all well done, acting's really good, characters are fine, great atmosphere, great setting, house. Not a fan of the story, needed more blood and gore, the monsters were weak, the whole thing was just kind of, the whole thing is just kind of weak, tame, and lame. But, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. This is kind of one of those that just kind of falls flat in the middle for me. So I'm just going to go middle of the road and say 4 out of 8. Have you seen Stay Out of the
Fucking
Attic? So if you've seen it, let us know what you thought in the comments below. If you haven't, get over and watch. If you watch it, let us know. You can have her at Facebook.com/StoopidMovies, Instagram at Stoopid Movies,
at Dr. Scott Turner, at the Horror Punk. You can email us, stupidmovies@outlook.com. Before we go, email us recommendations of good Nazi movies. Bye.
See you next time, friends.
Boop, boopy boop, boobs, boobs, boobs.